Hi everyone, Heather here with CAN. We are welcoming you to our 7th Fireside Chat this week. This week is quite an interesting week. For many of us, it marks 2 months of shelter in place or stay at home orders. And also we are expecting the governor's May revision of the state budget to come out tomorrow. And so a lot of unknowns with that, and we will hopefully be sending out information soon on that, but just wanted to kind of note some of those big things happening this week before we jump in. And to kick us off and get started, I actually wanted to share this really great video from Beyond the Bell and LA's Best. And this was a video released just earlier this week that really talks about how they have the expanded learning programs are really part of the community solution as we talk about serving the community in light of COVID. And I won't say much more than that. I'll actually just jump in and start sharing this video. So let me pull this up for you all.
The need has become greater because at the beginning we were serving maybe 9,000, 10,000, and we're up to 16,000 meals per day.
Since March 18th to now, we've served over 14 million meals. Hola, buenos días. Okay, go ahead, you can grab them.
Just heartwarming to know that they're appreciative of what we're doing.
Ay, que le vaya bien. Thank you.
Y somos 3 adultos y 6 niños y no tenemos para comer.
Almost saying, I'm sorry that I'm doing this, but I have no other way of getting food.
The grab-and-go centers became the ability for us to distribute food to our communities. And so we provide a breakfast and a lunch to every participant who comes up to the grab-and-go center.
LA's Best, Beyond the Bell, we do logistics very well. So we're used to this. We do citywide events as part of our activities in LA's Best. So these guys are logistically minded already, and they understand systems, they understand flows, and they get it.
Even though this whole concept of providing food to the community and developing these grab-and-go centers is just a little bit outside the concept of what after-school programs should be doing. We were very fortunate in that the CDE, the California Department of Education, allowed this to happen.
With all the trainings that our staff goes through, food safe handling certifications, and all the best fit nutrition training that we get, we're definitely best equipped to be volunteering and running this operation.
We first started off thinking it would be only for our students, but then we realized the great need in our community. So the grab-and-go centers are open to anybody in the community.
Part of our job in LA's Best, Beyond the Bell, as employees, is to serve. And if it wasn't for COVID, we'd be serving kids and families on school campuses.
During the regular school day, we provided 3 meals a day. Now we're able to provide at least 2 meals a day. We're providing over 500,000 meals a day. That's an incredible amount of need in our community.
Her parents live with her and they have 4 children. So that's 8 meals a day that, they really need in order to just keep going.
I don't know what would have happened if LA Unified, Beyond the Bell, would not be here.
I think that we're fulfilling a great need, and it's crucial that we continue doing it.
Well, that is a really great video about what's happening down in LA, but I know that's not the only thing. We've been hearing a lot of other stories. So, Michael, do you want to share some more of those stories?
Yeah, well, the images are powerful of the staff and who you see serving, the community coming together. And of course, the vision all along here has been that expanded learning needs to be a proactive part of the solution for community well-being and health. And really, to me, there's no greater there's no greater need to address than the well-being of our families. That has to start. You know, all these efforts for distance learning and delivering content and Google Classrooms or whatever distance platform you're on. If children aren't safe, if they're not being supported with their social, emotional, mental health needs, if they don't have enough food to eat, we know this, then the learning is not going to happen. And that has to be the first place we put our attention. So thank you to LAUSD, Beyond the Bell, and for the LA's Best for putting together that video, which shows us, you know, what some of this is in action. A lot of good things happening in LA. Just a few minutes ago, I had a conversation with Julie Brooks, who's the CEO of Woodcraft Rangers, over 100-year-old historic organization in the Los Angeles area. And they're doing many things and have amazing partnerships across LA. And they also are a partner with LAUSD and other districts. They've developed a very engaging platform to deliver enrichment activities for children to be doing in addition to whatever distance learning are taking place. They've got 5,900 families signed up for their service, and that's one thing. But they have 3,000 families a day using their enrichment, expanded learning enrichment platform, and that's phenomenal. Just one of the things they're doing. And Julie told me that Inglewood Unified is signing up today, which will bring another 1,000 families into that mix. So just thank you to Woodcraft, to Beyond the Bell, and all the wonderful agencies in Los Angeles. I just had the opportunity to be on a Zoom call with LA County, hosted by the LA County Office of Ed Expanded Learning Support Team, and speak to many of the grantees last week. It's just inspiring what people are committed to and doing. And of course, our first program we featured, Heather, as you know, was the Anaheim Family YMCA, and to see those images. And then the next week we had Marcus and Malik from Sac City Unified. And then last week, an amazing team, you know, here's massive LA, and then here's this modestly sized village of Healdsburg, which amazing stories last week of what they're doing to be part of the solution and what they're finding. So a lot of good things happening. We're trying to put the spotlight. One of my staff told me today that some of you have watched these videos and have been inspired to do more and have given you ideas of what to do. I also had a beautiful call, a Zoom call last week in conversation with the folks in the Northern Coast, Humboldt County and other places, for what we call the Region 1, and heard stories of many programs there that were specifically targeting, not targeting, but reaching out to find families that the school district had lost track of and making sure that they were doing okay, and just going door to door in a safe and manner that was keeping people physically safe, but just being very proactive. So thank you all across the state. Heather, I had another experience last week, which was almost a direct opposite. I was in a small group of conversation with a small group of leaders, and was told that in one case, the grantee, the district, was prohibiting expanded learning staff from having any contact with families and children. I've heard other community partners use words like, we're being handcuffed, we could do more, we want to do more, our staff want to be out there. And yet for reasons of probably risk management or whatever, they're being told, no, you cannot reach these families at this time. And you know, there are sometimes there are policy reasons, and there are variety of reasons, but I think what we're looking at here is a moral imperative to do all that we can do. Me and my team have worked really hard to preserve the integrity of the ACES funding. Of course, we don't know what the budget's going to come out, and nothing is a guarantee, but we have worked hard to preserve the integrity of the grants, to extend the funding another 6 months, and to hear that in some places, you're not doing all you can do. To me, that is a moral issue. And in some part of someone's mind, you might think that not doing everything you can do is more like a neutral stance. But let me tell you, to not do everything you can do is causing harm. It's not simply being on the sideline. It's causing harm when you could be providing resources, support, food, and something to some part of your community, to some child, to some family. It's causing harm. And I'm challenging us as a state to do the right thing, to do all that we can do together. And to that end, we've worked in partnership with CAN in the last couple of days and the Glenn Price Group to develop a survey, because we are going to find out what's happening across the state. And we're going to be sending out a survey through CAN and through CDE. Heather, can you say a few words about that?
Sure. So this is going to be a relatively short survey. We realize you all have a lot going on and a lot on your plate, so we certainly don't want you to spend too much time on a survey. But really digging into, what are the grant funds you have and how are you using those to provide different services in your community. And that will be going out through our newsletter today. We'll share the link through that. You'll find it on our website, on social media. CDE is going to send that out through their listserv. And so it's just very important as we talk about next year's budget that we really have a good grasp of where people are spending money and what their needs are. So I really encourage you all to just take the few moments to fill out that survey and help us get that, collect that much needed data as we continue to, at the state level, really do all we can to guarantee your funds moving forward. So I think that's it for the survey, and that's about it for our video. So Michael, just wanted to turn it back to you for some closing words.
Yeah, and a very important part of that survey is, how are you involved in the planning for the reopening of schools? And I've said this before on this platform, it's really critical that expanded learning is not on the sidelines. We're part of designing what the future looks like. And so we are interested in, and if one of the options is for you to check, I want to be, but I don't know how. And we will then be able to reach out to you and help you and support you in doing so. So thank you, Heather. We've taken a little bit of a departure, just to have a video and not have some other guests on this week. We'll be getting back to that next week. But I want to close with another challenge and another, well, I'll just get to it. One of the things that moved me last week with Healdsburg was when the expanded learning staff person, the lead for Healdsburg for expanded learning, was talking about identifying every family in their system and making sure that every family is surveyed to see how they're doing. Every family was found. So those families that the district had lost contact with, there's no assumption that just because a family has lost contact with the district that they're not doing well. There's no assumptions that certain families need to be found or certain families are okay. The reality is every child and every family in California deserves to be found. And our expanded learning staff are from those neighborhoods, from those communities, regardless of whether it's middle income or low income, regardless, every family, every child deserves to be found. And we can do that together. And that's my challenge. On a more uplifting note, let's do it together. If for some reason you're not doing all you can because you have some question or some concern, reach out to us. We are here to help you, and we will do this together. Thank you, Heather, for hosting again. Thank you, the California After-School Network, for your partnership. And we will see you next week.
Thanks, Michael. See you all next week.